I have no idea what's going to happen with tariffs or the impact to my small business. I'm just going to do things to try to mitigate risks and adjust as needed. And one of the things that I'm adjusting to is feed supply locations, feed suppliers. So in this mealworm farm, I go through a lot of wheat bran. It's the primary feed source for these things. They lay their eggs in it, they eat it. So let's take a look. So in all these trays, all the way back to there, full of wheat bran and mealworms. Right? Let's take a closer look. So these guys will move around in this and eat it. It is their primary source of nutrition. And without the wheat bran, I don't have the mealworms. And so one of the things I want to do to mitigate my risk and to spread things out a little bit is to identify different suppliers. And so one of the things I found here on TikTok actually was a farm out in Illinois that produces organic wheat bran. And so I reached out to them. They've got me some samples and I'm going to test them out. So here's a tray of the wheat bran that they sent. And one of the things I noticed immediately is that it's much finer than the wheat bran I'm getting today. But I like that for two reasons. For my use specifically, what I think this will help with is the smaller larvae want smaller particulates to eat. And so it's going to be, I think, more accessible and easier for them to eat when they're younger. The other benefit is with these beetles. So much like the larvae, the beetles need something to live in, something to eat, and they need bedding in order to feel safe to lay their eggs and keep the whole colony going. What I like about this is that it will sift faster. So when I have to procedurally separate the beetles out of this bin, I sift them, and this is going to go much faster. It'll be much easier on me physically. It will also take less time. But the trick with all of this is, will they actually eat it? Are they going to grow the same? Are they going to behave the same? Is everything okay from a colony perspective? And unfortunately, I'm not going to know that for at least 2 months, maybe a little longer, because that's how long it takes for a larva to hatch and grow to the point where I can harvest it. I'll know pretty quickly if there's any really bad side effects. And spoiler alert, I've already been testing this in the larva for about a week now, and they aren't having issues. So I'm not concerned about any sort of residual aspect on there that's going to kill the insects because they've been in it for a little while. The beetles are new, so I just started that beetle tray today. We'll see how they do there. Again, I'm not too worried about it. In the event, from a testing perspective, in the event that something goes wrong, I am testing on trays that I'm okay losing, right? So we'll just have to keep an eye on what happens. But if this works out, it's another source for me to be able to get wheat bran from a different supplier in the event that something happens. Supply chain wise, tariff wise, again, I have no clue. I'm not an expert there. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about that. I'm just giving my sort of perspective on what I can do to try to prepare for that and see what happens from there. So I'll tag the producer, Farm to Flower. I actually found them on TikTok. So they're tagged here, and I'm getting everything tested, and we'll see how it turns out.